So this is the trend range of diamond whetstones. We have a selection of files. We have a set of 4 needle files, the retractable pen file and outdoorsman. Then we have the tapered file, which we've already looked at. We have the steels. There's a variety of slipstones, all double-sided, fine and coarse, and a couple of bench stones, again double-sided.
And this is what I'm particularly interested in, because I always struggle with my plane blades getting them flat and square.
Yes, it's a big problem for everybody. So if we just go down the other end of the bench,
We'll see that working.
We'll see that working. Thanks, Alan. And if you just pass me a chisel as well while you're down there, that might just help. So these are top quality precision diamond stones. They are pre-ground to a flatness of half a thou.
It's pretty flat.
That is very flat. And to me, you mentioned the point of actually flattening your chisels, plane blades, and to me, the back is probably the most important part.
Yes.
If that isn't flat on the back, you're never going to get them sharp.
No.
So we do 2 here. One is a 7 by 2.5 inch, fine and coarse. The fine is 1,000 grit, 15 micron.
Okay.
The coarse is 340 grit, 45 micron. So this is the one which I would actually refer to as the sight stone, because it's a really nice size to take out on the site. It comes in a fabric tool holder, so you can keep it in that for protection. It's also got a nice weight to it, so if you are on site and you need to do some sharpening, it will actually hold itself on its own. If you just feel the weight of that, you can see what I mean.
It is. It's heavy.
It is.
You're not going to need to clamp that down.
It is very heavy. No. And believe it or not, this is one of my favourite stones because it's been with me about 8 years now and travels the world with me doing my shows when I'm demonstrating. And if you just feel the fineness on there, you wouldn't actually think you wouldn't think that would do anything.
Is that going to cut?
It's absolutely quite remarkable. A bit of spray on there, and if I just use the piece of carbide on there, I'm just trying to give you an idea of the power of cut that we have in here. And that's carbide.
Wow.
And that is something that you can't feel at all.
Yeah. Amazing.
And as far as the edge is concerned, you get a very, very fine edge on here. You will get a shaving edge very, very quickly. I'm just going to demonstrate this with a skinning knife, or for a hunting knife, or any type of knife. The beauty of this is you're taking this on a fairly shallow angle and you just take your time and just let the diamond do the work. You don't have to whip it through quickly. I can see exactly what I'm doing there. Just take it one side.
You're not pressing on?
I'm not pressing on there at all. I'm just letting the diamond do the work. And believe it or not, you will, on a knife that's reasonable to start with, you will put an edge on there very, very quickly. And the idea is that you're getting something that's just gliding through paper as opposed to cutting it.
Yeah,
that is quite, I would suggest, a keen edge.
That's sharp enough.
Yeah. So that gives you an idea of the power of cut. Coming on to your question as far as backing off is concerned.
Yeah, it's the flatness.
So the beauty of that, because it's a precision flatness, you can just come on here and you can really find out how flat your tooling is. When you're backing these off, all you need to do is make sure that this is flat across the back here. It doesn't have to be flat all the way up. So that is a great way to flatten that off. As far as keeping it square is concerned, or when you come to doing the actual bevel edge, you've got a choice of 2 ways. If you want to do this by hand, without the assistance of a guide, you can do. I would suggest that if you're coming in from here, and just a little tip, I like to see when the fluid's just, if I put a little bit more fluid on there, if you can pick this up, Bob, you can tell when you're actually on the, you see
just
when that's coming out?
Doesn't it? Yes.
And if you're going to do this for the full length of travel up and down here, I don't care who you are, I think you're going to put a slight little rock on that. So what I try and get people to do is use about 1 inch of the stone. Right. So if you're coming in here, wait until that fluid comes out, remembering that this is cutting forward and backwards, it is a lot easier by hand to keep that.
Yeah, just a little
and maintain the angle, just going forward and backwards about 1 inch. You can see what we're taking from there already.
Yeah, there's actual metal particles.
Then use the length of that to back that off. And then, if need be, something else which I quite like using at times is this polishing compound which trends supply. Just put that on a piece of leather, and if you just wipe that a couple of times on there and a couple of times on the back, and then just wipe it on a clean piece of leather, it just gives you that final little bit of a polished edge on there. And it also gives a very, very keen edge.
That is sharp.
It is.
That is
It's
sharp.
remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if you're not confident about doing that by hand yourself, there's a honing guide down there. If you can just pass that down to me. And I would also like the angle setter. Excellent. Honing guides on these stones, not a problem. They do not dish or groove, so you can quite merrily come on here and forward and back, work it so. What I do like about this particular honing guide is that to me, it's critical that it is clamped from the sides. There are various ones on the market which clamp from top to bottom. Just get that, Bob? They clamp like that. Now, to me, first of all, it's very difficult to clamp them down exactly the same.
Yes.
But secondly, if you're clamping from top to bottom, to me, the biggest problem is there's nothing to stop.
Getting a skewed angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, to me, it's critical that that is clamped from the sides, which means that you've got your perfect 90-degree angle.
Right.
And then once you're on there, it's a good size roller as well. And once you're on there, what I would suggest is you are just purely using the weight of the guide and the blade on there.
As little as that.
No pressure. And all you're doing is just simply taking this. Unfortunately, it's a little bit boring to watch because it's that easy. And then obviously just take this on the flat side and back that off. But that is absolutely foolproof. But one of the best features to me about this is setting the angle. It is so straightforward. You just slip that roller into the cradle.
Right.
Down here, put the blade up to whatever step you want, which is obviously a different type of angle, and then just lock it and you're off.
That is simple.
It is. It was one of my better days when I designed that.
Right.
So that, to me, is a great compliment towards these stones, which stay flat, as well as, if need be, going along with the paste and the leather. It's a nice little set there that you can go from totally reshaping and sorting out your chisels and plane blades to actually ending up with a polished edge every time. So that is the one which I call sort of the sight stone, good size and handy to take out. We also do this 8 by 3 inch stone, which I would suggest is more sort of like a workshop stone,
Right.
which you can get in individual grades. So that comes in fine, coarse and extra coarse, and the extra coarse really removes. That's 75 micron, 220 grit. When I'm talking about micron sizes, it can be a little bit confusing. Go back to the micron size on this one. The micron size on the fine is 15. Right. So if we go back to the way that these are constructed, when the diamond is electroplated onto the surface, the nickel grows around it, the top third is exposed. So therefore, your sharpening medium is 5 micron, because 10 micron is buried in the nickel.
Right.
A human hair cut in half is about 50.
Puts into perspective. Yeah.
That's how serious these stones are. So as you can imagine, when you're using this lapping fluid, which is petroleum based, it is a very, very light oil. Very light.
Yes.
Petroleum based, if you leave it there by mistake, within 20 minutes it's evaporated off, you haven't caused any problems. If you do use traditional oils on there, you will find that they're slightly too thick and you do tend to skate over.
It'd clog the stone effectively.
That's right. Clogs, this prevents rusting. So again, we've got those 2 stones, and as far as I'm concerned, that should really sort out your chisels and plane blades.
Excellent.